Borno State, Boko Haram has been there for so long. How many years? More than a decade. And then, of course, we're having foreign incursions. There are foreigners that are there. Recently, we're having all kinds of stories about USAID, where a congressman have to come out to say that they were actually financing Boko Haram through maybe third parties and stuff like that. And we have not investigated that properly. Our legislators don't say anything about it. And this continues. And these guys are coming up with, brand new arms. You heard the governor of Borno State. I was very, very sad when I listened to him. The guy was begging, actually, for aid to come to him. Because this guy, the military, our own military, according to him, require new arms and ammunition. What does that mean? We'll spend a lot of money on arms and ammunition. So, what is going on?
Indeed, Mr. Makri, that is the question of questions at this time. What is going on? You've mentioned so many of the dynamics in this crisis, but one of the things that, I haven't heard you talk about is the poverty situation. We are getting reports from Borno State that there are people who haven't been receiving salaries. There are people who have been paid between 8,000 and 15,000 naira. And then whether that is true or not, just that poverty dynamic and how it is a recruitment ground for these terrorist organizations. Do you see any sort of solution? Because if the governor is telling us, this was the last time I heard someone say this, we are losing ground to terrorists, was many years ago. If in 2025, a governor is saying this again, and then we're seeing violence, it's almost like coordinated violence across the country by these non-state actors. Is there a way to rein this in right now? Or have the chickens come back to roost again and there's nothing we can do about it?
Well, thank you very much. Of course, there are a lot of things we can do about it. If we are very serious about it, we can do a lot. When the governor says we are losing ground, what is he actually saying?
Are we losing territory? Yes. Is that what he's saying?
Because when you look at the Boko Haram situation, when they first came, they were trying to form caliphates in the Northeast. They were going around, taking over local governments, putting their flags in there, and then, of course, trying to create caliphates. And, of course, the government of Jonathan, remember when he wanted to run, when they wanted to run an election, and about 7 local governments were taken. And they cannot, because by the INEC rules, if they go ahead and have that election without 7 local governments, then the results are not going to be credible. Everybody must be represented. And what he did was go ahead and get a PMC, a private military contracting company, to flush all of them out, in a very short period. And we had our elections. Now, we have taken over those local governments. We had our elections. We've been going around. Boko Haram was scattered. They were hit and run. They do hit and run now. And right now, you heard what the Shehu of Borno was saying, El Kanemi, that there are 3 local governments that are gone. You can't go there. They've been taken over by Boko Haram. 3 of them. That means we're losing grounds again. That's where the governor is saying that we're losing grounds.
I mean, Mr. Makri, I've listened to you talk about this, and I want to be able to get your thoughts on some thought processes out there. Some people actually think this is political in nature. Do you think so?
Yes, I would say that there is a political angle to it. There's for it to persist to this extent, there's a political angle to it.